What's up, YouTube? Nine Toes here, and today I felt like mixing up a little bit and giving you a little bit of some Battlefield 1943 gameplay and overview, and maybe even a review, if you will, of sorts of the game as a whole. How I got this was last year. EA had launched the Ultimate Edition for Battlefield Bad Company 2, and with it came the Onslaught code and a code for 1943 as well too. On PlayStation, obviously, I'm sure you guys already knew that, but there was a very similar disc that also was available for Xbox as well too. Not sure about PC. If it was great, otherwise I truly don't genuinely know. The game itself, 1943, did come out, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but I want to say around 2009. If not, it was early 2010, and it was actually very successful for EA and DICE, as a matter of fact, as a standalone game. So this is not a DLC, this is not an expansion pack, like Vietnam is for BC2. So as its own little standalone game, it actually has 4 maps. What I was going to say actually was that it does run the I'm going to go off memory here, but I believe it does go off the same 1.5 Frostbite engine that we know that we know it on Battlefield Bad Company 2. It may run Frostbite 1 or just Frostbite, obviously. Don't quote me on it. If you know better than I do, please say something. I genuinely don't know, but I'm kind of guessing. So anyways, the point being is that you're going to see a lot of similarities, in other words, with the destruction and with the bullet drops and things like that. Again, I'm kind of doing this more for the folks that have never played this game, had maybe got the Ultimate Edition, never bothered with it, or maybe picked it up once, twice just to try it and dropped it. I'll be honest, I have, and it's got a couple of frustrating things. Exhibit A right here. Here I'm trying to run for the airdrop or the air raid, whatever they call it. Here's this guy on my team. This Smurf right here decides he's gonna, run in as well too to try to see if he can get on. This is like the UAV basically in Bad Company 2, but he's got me blocked in. I can't get around the guy. So that's one frustration. Another frustration is server lag. And there's a pretty good example of it a little later on, where there's a good clip where the guy's running up the hill, and I couldn't get a single hit registration on the guy. But anyways, I ended up jumping on the air raid here. I'm sure this guy was all pissed off and butthurt because he was standing there like he was going to try to get in before me. Honestly, I wanted to just run away. If I can't do anything, if I can't take a flag, I want to be active. But here's a great overview of the map. I mean, look how gorgeous it is. Look at the water. Look at the skies. It's gorgeous. I mean, DICE did a great job. By the way, I touched on it earlier. There's 4 maps in the game. This is one of them called Guadacanal, which in reality is just north of Australia. Sorry, Australians, I really don't know your country all that well. Meaning, in other words, I don't know exactly where this lies. If this is by New Zealand, and I read that it was closer to Australia, so I have to assume Australia versus New Zealand. But anyways, I mean, the whole point of it is it's a gorgeous looking rendering, if you will, of the terrain. If you look above, I ended up kind of fucking up the shot, but look how beautiful it is. At the very least, it looks great, right? Well, I fuck up. But at any rate, it's the gameplay is a little bit different. You do have a little bit of bullet drop if you're a sniper, obviously. In the recon class, there are 3 classes in the game. And again, I'm doing this, for those that have not played the game or just not really got into it. 4 maps, three classes. Just very, very similar to BC2, and most of you guys know me for BC2 videos and gameplay, but here's some C4 or TNT, I don't know what they call it necessarily, but I get blown the fuck up, as I was trying to get me some road kills, but at any rate, it's in my opinion, it's a little kiddie, it's a little cartoony. Rated T for teen. Kind of funny story behind that because I have a little 8-year-old nephew. Technically, he's the BFF's son, so he's not a nephew by blood. But at any rate, he likes to throw in there, well, it's rated T, so I can play it. It's again, I'm not going to tell you how to raise your kids or what have you, but in my opinion, I think it's a little inappropriate for 8-year-olds. I think they're a little too young to be playing, first-person shooter, games like this where you're shooting people. They should be sticking to, at 8, I think they should be sticking to Mario and shit like that, in my opinion. But again, I'm not going to tell you how to raise your kids. So if you have the game, I don't think this is, I think BC2 is definitely worse. But as far as the violence and the blood and stuff like that, but it's that's I think the reason why I got the T rating. The teen rating is because there's no real blood in the game. So there's obviously violence, but no implied blood, if you will. So, but you just run around capturing the flag, just like as we know in BC2. Here's somebody here. The flag didn't go all the way down, so I know someone's near. There was their spawn point before. Take them down. I get the flag. This is very familiar to Conquest in BC2 as we know it. So a lot of the dynamics are the same. And by the way, this is an online multiplayer game only. So in other words, if you never bought this game and you're thinking, oh shit, this is kind of cool. Um, if you're on Xbox or if you're on PlayStation and the XBL goes down or the PSN goes down, let me get this guy real quick. You're done. And you're thinking, hey, I got something to play while the network is down. As an example, where I got no internet because I'm sitting in the back of my Denali Bro or my Escalade. No, you gotta be connected online to be able to play the game. So it's again, I don't think that this is one of those types of games that you'll really this will be a primary game like you would play. On Xbox, I know there's a lot of Halo players as an example. We know that obviously on all game types, there's obviously Call of Duty and of course Battlefield. It's one of those games that it's got to be. There's nothing else kind of going on, nothing else to do, nothing else to see. All your squad buddies are offline, so fuck it, I'll just jump on this real quick and pick up a game here or two. To me that's my opinion, but it's kind of what gives it the feeling. You'll see again. It's even though I got them, it's the what I want to say is the hit registration, the hit detection is just a little bit off, and later on you'll see. In another moment where there's a even better example of server lag where he glitched a little bit and I just couldn't get a single hit registration on the guy even though I put in a good handful of rounds into this dude. He was eating I was thinking he was eating up marshmallows, but I took him there instead. And it's not the beastliest gameplay, if you will, but again, it's a fun game. I think all in all, bottom line, I'm not mad at it. It's a game that I definitely find enjoyable if my squad buddies are offline and there's just nothing kind of going on. I'll pick this up and jump on because I'm a little bit of a trophy whore, and there is the one last trophy I need for this game is 100 matches, and I think I'm only like 15 or 13 a dozen plays away from getting that last trophy in the PSN. But at any rate, all in all, I think it's a slick little game. If it's on a crazy sale, definitely pick it up. If you've got the Ultimate Edition that comes with Battlefield, it already comes with it anyway, so that's probably your best way to go. You get the console, it's well with it too. It's just again something fun to do. That's just not the same old. So that's definitely something that I like to just mix up every once in a while. Man cannot live by bread alone. So you don't. Here's, of course, one of my favorite things to do is kind of flank around. I knew there's a couple dudes, down there, rushing up the hill. So this is the equivalent of taking dog tags, is stabbing them with, my bayonet there. Eat your sandwich. That's about the best that it's going to get, if you will, as far as like taking tags and what have you. Oh, which brings up another point. There's no pins, but there are like stamps. They look like little postage stamps if you, get 4 kills with this, and if you do this, and what have you, SMG efficiency and assault rifle efficiency. Here's that server lag I was talking about. Come on, guy, really? Not a single one, got you. And I realized that this shot here was a little bit low. I don't know why, but anyways, I'm just thinking, I got to put in like, a half a dozen marshmallows into these guys, but these guys can give me a mosquito bite and I'm dead. So anyways, it is what it is. But I just want to give you guys a little something to look at. As always, rate, thumbs up. Always love to hear from you guys. Take care. See ya.